Yo, YouTube, what is good, bruv gang, what is good, and we are back with another video. Let's talk about the state of Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. There's been a lot of news that's been coming out recently, but some glaring news recently as well, and some amazing sales news. Let's just get straight into it, man. So, as we know, Pokemon Scarlet and Violet has been available for 5 days now, which means we're finally beginning to see the first numbers or the first insight into how the game is selling within the first 5 days. So, coming off the back of God of War Ragnarok, or Sony announcing God of War Ragnarok has sold 5 million units in its first 5 days, making it the biggest first party PlayStation launch ever, which is amazing, but the sales numbers for Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, despite all the issues and despite all of the performance issues, which we will get into in this video, the game is selling like hotcakes, man, and you cannot deny the appeal of Pokemon to this day. It's just doing crazy numbers. So, Pokemon Scarlet and Violet has sold 10 million units in its first 3 days of release, Nintendo have announced. This is the highest global sales level for any software on any Nintendo platform within its first 3 days. The number includes both physical and digital sales. So, Pokemon Scarlet launched for Nintendo Switch on November 18th, and this is amazing, man. Amazing numbers. 10 million units in its first 3 days is insane, man. Insane, and it just goes to show the appeal of Pokemon. Regardless of the state of where Pokemon is at, whatever's going on, the game is always gonna sell. It's always gonna sell. Nintendo know this, and Game Freak know this. So if any of you are unfamiliar with what's new in Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, Pokemon Scarlet and Violet are the latest mainline games in the Pokemon series, releasing 3 years after the Pokemon Sword and Shield games, also for Nintendo Switch. In these newest titles, which welcome series newcomers and veterans alike, players experience a unique open-world Pokemon adventure for the first time in the franchise. Players embark on a new style of Pokemon journey, freely exploring at their own pace and tackling multiple main story paths in any order. Pokemon Scarlet and Violet also offer expanded multiplayer modes, allowing up to 4 players to travel across the land together. Along with series staples such as trading and battling Pokemon, players can also explore the various locations of the region together with other players. Whether trading, battling, joining terror raid battles, or just having a relaxing picnic, players are sure to make some memorable experiences with their friends and family in local wireless or online multiplayer. So I will say, personally, for me picking up the game, I'm a big Pokemon fan myself. I've picked up pretty much every Pokemon game there ever has been, since Pokemon Silver, which was my first Pokemon game. But all that aside, this is probably, in terms of that performance aside, I'm going to get into that performance aside, this is probably one of the most fun Pokemon games I've ever played. In terms of how open the game is, because of course they made it open world now, and of course they made it to a sense where you're not restricted. You don't have to do gym battles. Like most Pokemon games are pretty structured. You go to gyms, battle, and that's kind of how the game runs. And then of course you've got post-game content, which is legendaries, and you've got, of course, the Elite Four majority of the time, Pokemon League type stuff, or Battle Frontier, whatever type of game you're playing. But for me personally, I am super happy the route that they've taken, or the route that they've decided to take with Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. That's why I said, despite the performance issues, I am very happy with this game, man. The game is super fun. I love the open world aspect. I love the fact that I'm not restricted. I love the fact that I can go out and do what I want to do in any order I want to do it. If I want to take on the gym battles, if I want to take on the gym, I can do that. If I want to, there are 2 other things that I do not want to spoil, but there are 2 extra things that they've added into the game. If you don't want to do those 2 things, then you can do the other. Like, it's just so much things that you can do. The terror raid battles are actually really fun too. I'm almost near the end of the game, pretty much at the moment. So that at the time of the recording this video, I'm near the end of this game. At the moment, I've just beaten all 8 gyms at the moment, so I'm going to progress and keep going with the game. I'm almost finished with it, so I do want to see what the post-game content has to offer. For now, the game has been amazing, man. The game has been amazing. So getting onto the performance issues now. This is all coming off the top of my head right now, guys. No script, no nothing. This is just all off the top of my head. From the performance issues that I've noticed, of course, there are so many videos going about on Twitter, especially on YouTube, wherever it may be, people pointing out the glaring performance issues, which I will be leaving within this video. You guys have probably seen them anyway for yourselves, but of course we know the game is poorly optimized for the Nintendo Switch. Now, I know people are gonna say the Nintendo Switch is the issue. I don't think it's a hardware issue, man. I really don't think it's a hardware issue. It's more on the devs. It's more on Game Freak. The game is poorly optimized. The game drops frames so much. so much. It does not take away from the experience, but I want to say in cutscenes especially, oh my god, man, the drop frames are crazy. The frame drops are crazy. The draw distance as well. Most NPCs are moving at like a frame a second, and it's crazy. The draw distance, you have to be right in their face for them to be moving smoothly. As I said, it does not take away from how fun this game is, but in certain sections, especially with a lot of playtime at the moment, the issue is the longer your playtime, the more bugs you're gonna get, the more lag you're gonna get, the more frame drops you're gonna get, and of course certain things like the draw distance is gonna be crazy, man. It's gonna be crazy. I know people have got workarounds for this, but it shouldn't have to be this way. Sadly, I think because Game Freak have seen and Nintendo have seen that Pokemon have sold 10 million units in its first 3 days of release, I don't think this is going to give them incentive to really try to push for that patch, to give us a patch immediately. Sorry, that's what I want to say. I don't think they're going to give us that patch immediately. I think they can tell people are enjoying the game. Of course, we do know there was news that did come out as well. Nintendo are issuing refunds for this game. I believe it is only for people who purchased the game digitally via the Nintendo eShop. This is good and a bad thing at the same time. You shouldn't have to, of course, refund any game. It's not Cyberpunk level, I want to say. Cyberpunk 2077, it's not that level in terms of people getting refunds for the game. Me personally, with Cyberpunk, I gave that game back a day after I had it, man, and it was terrible. But that's besides the point. Of course, we know that this game has sold like crazy. 10 million units is insane, but I do hope that Game Freak are aware of the glaring issue. The glaring issue, of course, being the performance of Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, because performance aside, this game is incredible, man. This game is incredible. This is probably one of the best Pokemon games, or probably one of the most fun Pokemon games I've ever played, probably since, I'm gonna be biased here, probably since Pokemon Emerald. And I loved Pokemon Emerald and played the shit out of that game, man. And I'll probably put Pokemon Platinum in there as well. But I really hope that Game Freak do listen, and I do hope that they do fix this issue, man. I know it's something that may not be simple, because I'm not a game dev myself. I do not know how simple this fix will be, but I'm hoping a patch does come out sooner rather than later and fixes the performance issue, because that is the only thing right now which is probably holding the game back. Of course, we know that the game has sold 10 million units, which is insane, but I want to say I just hope Game Freak patch this game and it doesn't hold it back. In terms of, people are actually on the fence about it at the moment. I've got a few friends in my friend group at the moment who are kind of on the fence with it. Shout out to the guys in the Discord. Guys are kind of on the fence about how the game is. Of course, I'm playing the game right now and I'm kind of advocating for the game, saying that it's not me defending Game Freak in a sense. It's more of a thing where it's like, I love Pokemon. Me personally, I'm a big Pokemon fan, as you guys know. The game for me personally is extremely fun, man, extremely fun. I believe the way they've done this game, this open world aspect of the game, being able to travel the world, basically your world or another person's world, with up to 3 people, so 4 people in general, I think it's amazing. But it's just, as I said, it's just the performance things, as we all know, it's just the performance things that is holding the game back currently at the moment. I do really hope that Game Freak do fix this, man, because this is a great game so far. And of course, the sales numbers, as we know, are incredible, man. To sell 10 million units in your first 3 days is incredible. It's absolutely incredible, man. And that's enough said on that. But I really do hope that they do address the issues, as I've said, as I've mentioned. But I do hope that this does not deter people from purchasing the game, man. I really do hope it doesn't deter people at all. I would say pick it up physically, because physically, of course, there's going to be more sales. It's going to be cheaper as well. I managed to actually, I pre-ordered mine anyway, and it did drop on before release date, so I got it for about £42. So I'm not too sure in the US, of course, it's going to be expensive. Wherever you're listening from, it's going to be a little bit more expensive depending on where you are. But I do hope that this does not deter you from getting the game, because 10 million units sold, as I said, again, 10 million units sold in its first 3 days is incredible, man. And as I said, this game has got so much potential to be probably one of the greatest Pokemon games ever made, really, at this moment. So I just hope that down the line they do fix this issue. I'm hoping that a patch does come out maybe sometime next month. I'm hoping Game Freak are listening, are watching, and are taking heed of what has been put out at the moment. I'm sure that they are aware, very, very aware of the performance issues. I know that it's not going to deter them from patching this game. I hope it doesn't anyway, but like I said, regardless of performance issues, this game is a great game so far, and I really do hope, as I said again, it does not deter people from buying this game. So that is just a short video talking about Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, the state that it's in right now. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please like, sub, share if you're new, hit that notification bell, and I hope I become you guys' #1 source for all JRPG news. So from me to you, this has been your bruv, the big bruv, and I'm gonna catch you guys in the next video. I'm out. Peace.